This book introduces us to the top Netflix video makers that everyone knows about if you are a movie buff. Do you know where this company comes from? Before becoming a Netflix app that allowed you to watch all kinds of foreign movies without having to go to the cinema, what did the company do? Have you experienced any failures? And what makes him the top company that can attract more than 200 million paid users to watch movies and TV shows on their website? Netflix is very popular around the world, not only because it is a fast-growing company, but also because it is the 115th highest-earning company in the world, rated by Fortune 500 magazine. You need to know that the film industry is a sector that requires a lot of capital, but Netflix is a company with a unique business model and a unique corporate culture that can attract talented people around the world, starting with a small DVD rental company. As of 2016, Netflix has launched in more than 130 countries around the world, except China, North Korea, and Russia. This book is about the amazing evolution of this American company into the international market from its inception in 1997 to 2011. The whole book is divided into 15 chapters, each of which deals with the main events of the past 15 years. The author names each chapter the same as the title of the film. For example, the first chapter, entitled A Shot in the Dark, describes the appearance of Netflix in the dark, but with a loud bang. One night, each chapter, in addition to having an attractive title, is also written like a movie. Gina Keating, a Reuters columnist for more than a decade, is one of the most watched and attentive people in the film industry. He spent 7 years interviewing more than 100 Netflix staff, executives, and users, and receiving important information from them before writing the book. This is a difficult thing because, according to the rules of Netflix, the founder, Reed Hasting, does not allow any Netflix employees or executives working for the company to be interviewed by journalists, including himself. So, if you want to get all this information, you have to find old employees who used to work at this company. The book, completed in 2012, is titled Netflixed in English, with the Netflix name added and an add back to the past. The word Netflix is already a verb, which shows the great influence of Netflix in the movie industry. In this book, the author wants to send a message to us that, in the face of rapid growth in a field, only those who are prepared in advance can seize the opportunity to compete in the market. Only those who dare to make changes will be kicked out of the market. In the following, we will briefly comment on the main points in this book, divided into 4 sections. Part 1. How can Netflix keep up with consumer demand? Part 2. How can the founders and their team continue to grow? Part 3. How can Netflix create a product that everyone likes? What are their unique business models and marketing strategies that we can learn from? Section 4. How Netflix responds to market conditions and how to attract investment and collaboration with its competitors. Part 1. We come to the part where we talk about the middle ground and how Netflix can keep up with the demand. We first got to know one of the co-founders of Netflix, Reed Hasting, who was born into a wealthy family and received his master's degree at the famous Stanford School. The 35-year-old led a company called Pure Software, give up the IPO, and then sell the company for $750 million. After gaining financial freedom at the age of 35, he continues to look for new opportunities everywhere to continue his entrepreneurial journey. Reed Hasting and another co-founder, Mark Randolph, spent a lot of time finding the right direction to start their second venture. Because Mark used to set up a shipping company, he thought that as long as the customer service was good and the goods were delivered quickly, people would pay. They both think about what kind of product to find for customers and what can we offer. After discussing the two of them, you decide to enter the film industry, but start by renting a movie tape for home viewing. Because movie tapes were not so small at the time, you may have seen the big black tapes that were made for movies more than 20 years ago. Due to the large size and high transportation costs, not many people dare rent all the movie tapes to watch. At the beginning of the first lease, those who are far away can send it by post, while those who are far away can come and see it for themselves a few days after the end of the show, and they have to pay it back for Netflix to lease it. Failure to do so will result in a fine. It has been rumored that Reed Hastings, the founder himself, was also fined $40,000, only to find that customers did not like this approach. It is safe to say that in 1997, when Netflix entered the tape rental industry for a short time, the advent of DVDs began to replace the large, heavy video recorder, so Hastings decided to stop renting videotapes and start renting movie discs instead. With the advent of the internet, he has also been able to rent DVDs online with no deposit required. Anyone who wants to watch the movie can rent it through the website, and Netflix sends the disc to watch it. Jeff Bezos has been at Amazon for 2 years now. The idea was good, but the service didn't make much progress on Netflix, and soon after, Hastings shut down the service. The reason is that people are accustomed to using videotapes. Each of them already has a video player in their home. The new DVD is not yet widely used, and there is no machine at home. Play this new series of discs as well. Wanting them to switch to DVDs right away and rent them out online is no easy task. Only a small number of loyal and tech-savvy customers can use it, so Netflix came up with a marketing strategy. Put a DVD rental coupon in the DVD player, because when everyone buys a DVD player, only the disc player does not have a disc. They need to buy an external one to get it available. But after having this coupon, when they buy a home player, they can go to the Netflix website and rent a movie disc to watch every day. As more people start buying DVD players, Netflix DVDs will have more tenants. As more and more DVD tenants rent, Hastings sees that many users do not know what they want to watch, so Netflix has created a program for those who have rented a DVD to watch movies and evaluate and comment on what they see. This method is easy and effective. People who like to watch romantic movies can recommend other romantic movies that they think are good to watch on Netflix. Netflix gets that information and also thinks of another way. At the end of each episode, with the last 30 seconds left, they put together a video trailer of the movie that you should watch after watching this one. At this stage, Netflix has learned a lot about its customers' usage habits and behaviors, which has given them a lot of information, and this is one of Netflix's most important assets that makes them stand out from their peers. There were other competitions at that time. The service has been very popular in the United States for a short time among young people in the home, many of whom have a DVD player and rent a movie disc from Netflix. But Hastings is an old entrepreneur with a lot of experience. He does not stop there. He is always looking for something new. As the scope of the internet expands, so does the speed of video streaming. So, in 2007, Netflix introduced a new feature in addition to movie rating, allowing users to watch live on the web. Once again, this is a new turning point where flexibility is fast and accurate. As the number of disc subscribers declines, people are starting to get used to watching videos online since YouTube was just launched a year ago. Part 2, the above, is the first part about the flexible adaptation of Netflix market needs. Next, we come to the second point. We come to observe a little bit. How can the founders and their team continue to grow and keep up to date like this? Netflix's second co-founder, Mark Randolph, also worked for Reed Hastings' first company, where Mark was responsible for marketing, meaning he was previously a descendant and an owner and later left. Let's create Netflix together. The two co-founders have the ability to complement each other perfectly. Hasting specializes in product design and business planning, and Mark Randolph specializes in marketing and operations management. When Netflix first started, Hasting did not have a master's degree from Stanford. He rarely came to the company, so Mark Randolph managed most of the company's operations. Under Mark's leadership, the first few years have trained many talented employees who can enable companies to respond quickly to market changes and meet customer needs in a timely manner. As the company began to grow, Netflix needed capital to expand. Remember then that Reed Hastings was a billionaire with hundreds of millions of dollars. Money was not important to him, just to walk. He is an investor with experience as a successful entrepreneur. When the company needs capital, he can take the capital out of his own pocket and also help Netflix raise capital for further expansion. As Reed Hastings' influence in the company grew, Mark Randolph gradually stepped down from CEO to general manager to filmmaker, and Reed Hastings took over as CEO, chairman of the board, and CEO. Shortly after Reed Hastings took over Netflix, he laid off 40% of his staff. In fact, from the very beginning, Netflix has also had many competitors, including the largest disc rental company in America, Blockbuster, and Amazon, which, in addition to selling books, also rents movie discs, as well as HBO cable television. Due to the fierce competition in the market, combined with the founding attitudes of the founders, Netflix has a culture that is strong and results only. In general, the salary of employees who work at Netflix is 15% to 20% more than the market value. Hastings once declared that he only hires the best employees. He is willing to pay a higher price than the market. If 100 people apply, he chooses only 10 people who are 10 times better than the regular staff. And if any of the leaders ask to resign, they will not stop. They will have a budget for employees who want to resign. In 2009, a leaked Netflix PPT entitled Netflix Culture, Freedom, and Responsibility was shared several times on the internet. The document was leaked by former Netflix Human Resources Chief Patty McCord. As head of Human Resources, he understands that Netflix should not be like any other company. Netflix should be clear about only two things: what the company sees as most important and what employees want from the company. Netflix only wants to appeal to mature adults, Patty wrote in the document. According to Netflix Dictionary, enhancing performance is something that employees should learn and work hard for as an adult's duty, not the company's responsibility. Those who do not deserve to walk the streets with Netflix can walk away, no matter how big the position. Apparently, Netflix co-founder Mark Randolph left the company after Netflix went public, and Patty, the author of the PPT, left Netflix a few years later. But founder Reed Hastings, despite a number of major corporate setbacks, continues to inspire and energize as a leader, and he has learned from those mistakes and swam through them. For example, in 2011, after Netflix launched its online video streaming service, Netflix share price rose to more than $300 per share. At the time, Netflix services doubled, a month-long disc rental service down from 10 a month to 8, and a 8-a-month movie subscription membership. This strategy looks like a discount, but for users who need to use both services at the same time, they have to pay up to $18 per month. The repricing mistake has led many users to cancel their subscriptions, refusing to pay, lowering Netflix's price from $300 a share to just $50 a share. But in terms of long-term strategy, Hastings still believes in his decision. By 2012, the number of movie rental subscribers had dropped to 3 million a year. 25 million, and now there are more than 200 million around the world. Part 3. This is the second main point that we present to all of you who describe Netflix people, how to recruit people, and their company culture. Next, we come to the third most important topic, which is about Netflix's product, marketing strategy, and business model. Initially, the two co-founders began experimenting with their services. He rented several DVDs through his website and had them delivered by post. When he received his first order DVD without any breakage or loss, he was overjoyed because the DVDs are small and identical. Shipping this time around is not a big deal, and the next thing to think about is packaging. How to pack easy to break. Netflix has designed an envelope that can pack a DVD without breaking. And on the envelope, there is a transparent panel that allows you to see the disc inside, especially the space. They can start their own business or accept the business of another company. This envelope can carry Netflix DVDs to anyone, anywhere in the United States, with a percentage of damage per 10,000 discs of only 6 discs. In 2009, Netflix had about 10 million users. But Netflix's ambitions are not small. The system that was designed to support 10 million viewers a day has no problem with one technical issue. Netflix is not inferior to anyone, strongly associated with the character of their founder, Reed Hastings. Not only that, they also dare to spend a lot of money on self-produced movies. According to figures, Netflix spends $100 million every year to produce its own movies and TV shows. Let's take a look at Netflix's business model, which is divided into 4 categories: consumers, products, teams, and marketing. Netflix users are those who rent discs to watch at home and those who subscribe to watch movies online. The reason consumers choose Netflix is because it is easy to use, has no commercials, and has fast speeds. Another major reason is that Netflix has partnered with many major video companies, meaning that there is a lot to watch. But then a lot of big movie companies created the same online movie app. Like in August 2017, when Disney announced the withdrawal of its movies from Netflix, which caused Netflix to lose a lot of revenue. So Netflix get involved in filmmaking by setting up your own directing and film production team. Section 4. Finally, let's take a look at the 4th key content, how Netflix can be flexible according to market conditions and their methods of attracting investment and collaboration with competitors. First of all, let's take a look at the market trends. Netflix is fortunate to follow 3 main marketing trends. The first is when people switch from videotapes to DVDs. Second, the advent of watching videos online instead of playing discs at home. Third, from companies that provide online movie viewing platforms to film companies. Netflix's huge success is indispensable to the presence of experienced entrepreneur and investor Reed Hastings. Prior to founding Netflix, he was a successful entrepreneur, and he did not plan to put all his money into it. Netflix has raised 5 times, totaling more than $112 million. After the IPO, Netflix also worked very well. Statistics show that from 2007 to 2017, the top 20 fastest-growing companies in the stock market, including Netflix, rose to 5,384%, during which time Apple's share rose to 598% only. In May 2005, a co-founder of Netflix set up Redbox in collaboration with McDonald's to rent a DVD in a burger joint to compete with Netflix. In April 2004, Blockbuster launched the online movie streaming app, putting pressure on Netflix. In September 2009, Amazon launched Amazon Prime Video, Netflix's first large partner in the U.S. market. In 2016, when Netflix reached 100 million users, Amazon Prime Video users reached 7.6 million. In particular, Amazon Prime members can not only watch videos, but also receive special services from Amazon, get special discounts on some products on Amazon, and receive fast delivery within 2 days in the whole United States for only $99 per year. Although Amazon is Netflix's biggest competitor, Netflix still chooses to use Amazon's server, Amazon AWS. Netflix clearly distinguishes between competitors and collaboration. This is also something we need to learn from Netflix. They have a book that teaches us how to collaborate with competitors called Co-opetition. If given the opportunity, we will summarize this book for you in the future. The main points of the book, The History of Netflix, that we have summarized for you this week, just ended. We come to reconsider. 20 years ago, we would have seen black square videotapes for movies. Netflix is a company that rents out this type of videotape. Later, they stopped using this type of tape. Netflix switched to DVD rental again, and they later created a website that allows users to watch movies online for a membership fee of only $8 per month. Consumers can be persuaded because they clearly understand the needs of customers in those days. Before renting a disc, they needed a deposit, but Netflix does not need a deposit when people are lazy. Netflix also created a website where they can rent a disc online. Yes, as for the team, Netflix recruited only the best and most experienced people to work with, and these people helped Netflix outperform its competitors at the time. Netflix pays close attention to its products to ensure the safety and convenience of its users. One helps to finance the competition, while Netflix clearly distinguishes between partners and competitors by taking enemies as friends. The main points in the Netflix book that we have summarized for you all, let's end there.